Welcome inside the Gene Policini Center on the campus of the Rochester Institute of Technology, where a fresh sheet of ice awaits another season of RIT men's and women's hockey. Good afternoon and welcome to RIT Hockey Media Day. Coming up in just a bit, we'll be joined live by the Bruce B. Bates women's hockey coach, Celeste Brown. Plus, we'll go one-on-one with RIT Athletic Director Jackie Nicholson following her first year here on the job. But we begin with a look at the RIT men's hockey program. Wayne Wilson's group last won the Atlantic Hockey Championship back in 2016. Since then, the Tigers have hit a bit of a dry spell. Last March, they were playing in the AHA semifinals, making their 9th appearance in the conference semifinals down the thruway in Utica, taking on Air Force. They trailed 3-2 in the third, but Grady Hobbs scores there to tie the game at 3 with 14:27 remaining. Our Air Force, though, that night seemed to have all the answers for the Tigers. Midway through the third, Brandon Cook off the pipe and in his second of the game. Air Force would hang on to eliminate the Tigers by a final of 4-3. AIC went on to defeat Air Force in the championship to secure their third AHA tournament title in a row. Happy to be joined, as always, by the head coach of the RIT men's hockey team, Wayne Wilson. Coach, another season to look forward to, but looking at last year, what's your biggest takeaway?
Great question. Well, as you said, it's been since 2016, and we were on quite a run there. Every 4 years, we were winning either the regular season or the championship, so we want to get back on track with that. But just watching that game, it's still a heartbreaker, and it seemed like a while ago, but it's not that long ago. But I just thought last year we had some really freshmen step up and join a strong upper-class group. But we also lost really some guys with like Elijah Gonzalez to hip early in the year. He was coming off a third-team all-league situation. Caleb Moretz had to have surgery right after the year. So we're looking forward to having them back and healthy with us. Some real good, strong newcomers and some veterans to lead us the way. And we're really excited about our leadership group. So all those, we're looking forward to the season.
Yeah, you talk about it. You lose 3 of your top 5 scorers from a year ago. Talented forwards returning, though, for you. You mentioned Elijah Gonzalez coming back from injury, and Caleb also coming back from injury. Do you see them picking up where they left off, kind of having an even greater impact than before their injuries?
Well, yeah, and I think we're allowed 4 hours a week on the ice, so we're practicing 1 hour Monday through Thursday, and so they've been able to really kind of test those hips out, so they'll be roaring. But guys like Kobe Walker, really kind of, I don't want to say unsung, but one of our captains, had a very strong year last year. We're looking forward to his impact on our team. Andrew Petrucci, another captain, more on the defensive role side, but is full of confidence and ready to lead us as well. So I think those two, along with some of the freshmen, Carter Wilkie, obviously comes to mind with the accolades that he received and an invite to the Calgary Flames camp this summer. So, but we're strong in goal. We've got some good veterans on D. We've got a transfer in Matt Kellenberger coming in that will also really steady our defensive corps. And we're looking forward to I think our team's better than it was last year, and we're going to miss the guys that we lost. But I think we've got a good nucleus coming back, and with the additions, I think we should be in real good shape.
Yeah, you talk about your goaltending situation. You had 4 on the roster last year, not exactly ideal, as you've mentioned, but now you're down to 3 with Matthews, Scarfoni, and Chenard. Good to have that situation where you've had some of those guys compete at a high level, steal some games for you. Where is the goaltender situation at this moment and going into the season?
Well, I think coming off of last year, you'd say Tommy's coming in as returning as a number 1, and deservingly so. But I thought Colby Matthews is going to get ice early. I can tell you that. He won a lot of real big games for us. I don't know if he just got a little tired as the season went on, but Tommy was there to step it up and take the ball at that time. And Dan Chenard has been pushing both of them. So I really like where we are in goal here, and we do want to take another step forward, but I think they're just as hungry to take another step forward as well.
Yeah, it's a good team. One guy to keep an eye on this season will be the reigning Atlantic Hockey Rookie of the Year. You mentioned Carter Wilkie, who on Tuesday was voted as one of the league's preseason co-players of the year for the upcoming season. Wilkie led the Tigers in scoring with 13 goals and 17 assists. And, of course, fans remember he was the one that sealed an RIT overtime victory in South Bend against the Irish last year. You're looking at Wilkie. Can he Was he a surprise his freshman season, and how can he build on that for that sophomore year?
Well, I think you're always excited about your freshman, so I don't want to say it was a surprise, but yeah, he came in and made an impact right away, and you're always going to have one or two of those type of guys. But I thought our freshman class in general last year was very, very strong. He played most of the year with Grady Hobbs and other freshmen, and they were a very strong line and hard to contend with. So those guys. Tanner Andrew right is in camp right now, is with them as well, so another freshman on that class. So we're excited about that particular group. Carter's put on some more strength over the summer and has got some confidence, but he's a target now, and he's got a lot of work ahead of him to continue to prove himself. And we think he's up to the challenge, and he's going to have to be up to the challenge to pick up where he left off last year.
Yeah, no question about it. Earlier this month, you also announced your 5 captains. You touched on that a little bit for this season. Fifth years, Kobe Walker and Andrew Petrucci were voted co-captains, while Spencer Berry, Elijah Gonzalez, and Caleb Moretz will serve as alternates. Share your thoughts on the leadership of this group, both on and off the ice.
Yeah, I think we've got a real good mix of guys. They all contribute in all different ways. So someone like Petrucci and Spencer Berry from a penalty kill standpoint. And they really are the nuts and bolts of our team, really, those two. They do all the things that aren't very popular maybe with fans or get all the attention, but are necessary to win hockey games. And then the other three, Kobe and Caleb and Elijah, are more on the offensive side and get the goals and get the attention. And then you've got two of them that were coming off of injury-plagued years last year that really want to pick it up and prove themselves again to back the way they were as sophomores. But tough injuries to fight through, and maybe the injuries got the best of them last year, but we're excited about them returning to great health and great expectations as well.
No question. And we mentioned forward Kobe Walker returning for his 5th season and 5th and final season. Walker was 3rd on the team in goals last year, 4th overall in scoring, finishing with 11 goals and 8 assists. And the co-captain joins us live now here on Hockey Media Day from downstairs. Kobe, what went into your decision to return for a 5th season here at RIT?
I think it was a lot just testing. 1, 2, 3. You guys good? Hear me? Okay, good. I think it was just a lot of, just looking back at the years and seeing how COVID really affected my college career. Just kind of gave me the opportunity. I guess it was kind of a no-brainer to come back, especially with the athletic scholarships. That was a huge part of it as well. But just with the group we had, I just knew that I wanted to be back to be that guy to lead them away and hopefully get back to that championship series and get the job done this time.
You talk about leading. What does it mean to you to have been named a co-captain for this season?
Lots of words, really. I've never wore the C before in my life, so it's just it's a big responsibility, obviously. But I'm looking forward to the challenge and looking forward to just motivating the guys and setting a good example the best that I can. And yeah, just super excited to get it going next weekend.
No question, and Coach and I have been talking a little bit about just the talented group of forwards that return, including yourself. Knowing so many guys can contribute, does that allow you to play more freely, do you think?
I don't know. I'm just going to keep playing the same way I do. It's not really going to affect my game at all, but it is nice having we do have a really good team this year, a lot of depth up front, which means that we can shift up the lines wherever we want if it's not working and just find out the right combinations until it does work and roll from there.
You come back for that 5th year. An AHA title has eluded you in your class. How does this team get back to the top of the league?
I think it's just, you can't really think about it too much. We just got to focus on getting back to our conference play and getting up to the top spots, and especially with the playoff format changing this year. If we can get to the top spot and we can play all our playoff games at the Gene, I'd like to see our chances in that. But it's just taking it every weekend as it is and not getting too high, not getting too low, but working every day to work for our goal at the end of the year, which is to lift up that trophy.
Well, Kobe, best of luck to you this year and all the Tigers, and we look forward to catching you October 1st at Union for your first game of the season. Thanks so much for joining us here on Hockey Media Day. Coach, we talk about that schedule 10 days away from the start of your season as we take a look at what comes up in October. The Tigers open up on the road at Union, as I mentioned. Last year, Then they get right into conference play after that, hosting Army October 7th and 8th. Union comes to town for that Brick City homecoming event, always fun downtown, before the Tigers head to Colorado Springs to face Air Force, and they close out the month against Holy Cross, a series here at the Gene Policini Center. For the complete schedule, visit ritathletics.com. Coach, your thoughts on, you were picked 4th in the preseason poll the other day. I know you don't like preseason polls, but it's a new year. Your thoughts on the schedule and how things stack up in Atlantic hockey this year?
Yeah, the preseason predictions are always very tough because there's so many things that go into it, injuries, and I think there's not a big difference between point A to point B, however you want to look at that. So just for us, I think, happy that they think we're in the top 4, and we're going to have to still prove ourselves regardless. I was looking forward to the homecoming game against Union. What's a little different this year is we're going to Union, so we've never played the opponent the second game around. This is a game that we're making up, that when Union canceled their season, we were supposed to go there, so we had the opportunity to make up the game as we are even with Notre Dame downtown the following year. But having Army and Air Force, great tests in our league in that first month as well, and playing 2 league games right after having 1 game. So we've got to be ready to go versus Army, and then we're on the road to Air Force. We're always on the road to Air Force.
You're always there.
And then Holy Cross, Bill Riga, their coach has done a great job. They've got some new people on their program, and so off we go, and it'll be a challenging schedule, but we're looking forward to it.
And quickly, we want to touch on, Kobe talked about it, the AHA playoffs have a new format this season. First off, only the top 8 teams, so 8 of the 10 will qualify. It all starts with a best-of-3 quarterfinal series the first weekend in March, followed by a new setup for the semifinals, a best-of-3 series, March 10th through the 12th, and then the top remaining seed will host the championship Saturday, March 18th on their home ice. Coach, do you like the new format? And boy, can you imagine? I know we're on spring break. I looked. It's not great. But if you get that number 1 seed, a chance to host the championship, can you imagine what it would be like here?
Yeah, I think it would be great. I don't mind the format. The only thing that concerns me is the format because our schedule is so unbalanced. And I don't mean Atlantic hockey in general with how many times you play certain teams 4 times, whether you're playing home and away. So you've got a lot of different imbalances in your schedule that I probably would have liked to seen everyone in, but then you couldn't you'd have to work your way through that schedule. Probably need another weekend in that. So, but that we all know what we've got in front of us, and it's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough, and a lot of really good teams in our league, and we're looking forward to those challenges.
Hey, we're looking forward to another season. You're going to be your 24th, I believe.
24, yeah.
24th season. It comes up October 1st at Union, and then here October 7th and 8th against Army. Thanks so much, Coach. Best of luck this season. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Luck is always good to have on your side.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, our Gene Battaglia goes one-on-one with RIT Athletic Director Jackie Nicholson. But first, we get a preview of what lies ahead for the RIT women's hockey team. The head coach joins us live next. You're watching RIT Hockey Media Day.
This is RIT. Imagine your possibilities.
We all have something, a passion to pursue, a theory to prove, a difference to make. We harness creativity to discover meaningful solutions, fueled by innovation, changing ourselves and the world around us. We reside at the intersection of the exceptional and the unconventional. We are a community of curious minds that achieve, make, improve, perfect. At RIT, we're always on to something amazing.
Here's a shot. It goes in! It goes in! Abbott Maloney wins it for Syracuse! Oh, a heartbreaker for the RIT women's hockey team as their season came to a close last February, losing to eventual CHA champion Syracuse in an overtime thriller down in the Cuse. Welcome back to RIT Hockey Media Day, where the spotlight now shines on the women's hockey program as we welcome in the Bruce Bates women's hockey coach, Celeste Brown. Coach, another season, looking back at last year, you had Syracuse on the ropes at home.
Yeah.
Do you think about what might have been if you got to that championship game?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at just the growth throughout the season, it was pretty incredible. I think we caught everyone's attention in our league too, and so, I mean, I'm proud of where they got to and what they did, and sort of take it for what it is and use it as fuel to the fire. I mean, if we would have made it to the next game, I think we would have been cooking strictly on like adrenaline.
Of course.
But still, like playoffs are anyone's game, so super positive that we ended on a high and just excited to carry that into this season.
Yeah, the overall record maybe not obviously what you'd like it to be last year, but how encouraged are you by the way that your team played towards the end there and really seemed to get things together?
Yeah, no, it is encouraging. I think a lot of times people can look at results or what's on the outside, and that's very real too, don't get me wrong. But we talked a lot about last year what success inside our four walls was, and that's a matter of like rebuilding too, right? Yeah. We have a chosen group now, and they're choosing to work together and grow. And so, again, just culturally, we've grew everyone from, that was our first year, so we had 12 of them last year. Yeah. They're sophomores now. That's an exciting space to be in. They come back a little more confident and calm on the ice. We've added a few other puzzle pieces there, so it's going to be a fun next couple of weeks to sort of see where we stand and what's working for us and what we need to improve on.
Yeah, you dove into the transfer portal as well this past offseason. You picked up Amy Dobson from Penn State, as well as Nicole Ness from St. Cloud State. What are the type of players are they, and can they make an instant impact on this program?
Yeah, totally. I mean, first off, they're great humans, right? So you're not coming in this program unless you check that box. Yeah. And then secondly, like, they take care of their academics, and then they're great athletes from top to bottom. So I believe they'll have impact, right? Amy Dobson coming from PSU, like that is a program that has worked to turn everything around. She's been through that process, and she also is a great hockey player. She has great vision. She provides calm, but she also provides this like leadership space that has a perspective like, hey, I know I have some younger groups with me. Let me like help pull this along, put the culture in the right direction, which is something that you not necessarily find in a fifth year. And then Nicole Ness, like that kid's physicality and grit is through the roof. And so even in the CHA, it's through the roof. So you take her from the WCHA, she can rip the puck. Like I expect she'll produce for us this coming season.
Fantastic. Well, one of the Tigers that you're going to want to keep an eye on this year is in the net. Sarah Coe returns for her sophomore season after a terrific freshman campaign. Coe was named the CHA All-Rookie team last year, and she finished the season strong. In the month of February alone, Coe had a .964 save percentage and a 2.68 goals against. In each of her 5 starts in the season's final month, she finished with 30 or more saves. What do you expect of her? Obviously going in, she's got to be your number one, and she proved she can steal some games too for you, or at least keep you in them.
Yeah, no, Sarah speaks for herself, yeah. Right? I threw her into the fire last year right from the beginning. There was really no time other than just like, Sarah, you're going. Yeah. And I think even some of those stats are probably impacted by some of the beginning of our season. But if you look at the stats, like coming down the narrow end, you're like, holy cow, you got a goaltender here. And so she provides like steady confidence to our team from the back end. And it allows our kids to like take chances, right? That's what you want. like I expect her the same as everyone else. Like, she came in and shaved, fit, and took care of business over the summer. And so, better product on the ice in front of her, more confidence, just more repetition in what we're trying to do. I think she's going to be a huge part to our puzzle moving forward.
And she, the way she's played, gives confidence to those in front of her as well, I would think.
Totally, right? And she loves to break out the puck, too, if you take a look at that. So she's a good sixth player for us back there.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, the Tigers are certainly a young group, as Coach mentioned, but obviously transfer Amy Dobson is a fifth year. And only other senior in the group is Hannah Solinger, who's been with the program since she was a freshman. And Hannah joins us live now on RIT Hockey Media Day. It's been a tough few years, Hannah, but each season brings a clean slate. What encourages you about this team going into a new year?
Just having a really strong end of the season last year. We're all really excited to come into this year, and having that exhibition game last week, we're all fired up from those results, staying in the game all 3 periods. But yeah, just having a strong end of the year last year fired us all up for this year.
Do you feel this team, maybe, you picked to finish 5th in the CHA, maybe based on what you did last year, do you feel like you're counted out and this is really a team that can make some noise this season?
Yeah, in some ways for sure, but I think we're going to surprise people this year, and we want to be hard to play against and have that identity of being able to play all 3 periods and pushing the pace and just making those other teams scared to play us.
Yeah, absolutely. You're one of the oldest, most experienced Tigers. Are you comfortable taking on a more vocal role in the locker room and on the ice because of your experience?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say through all the 3 years I've been here, the ups and downs, I think people look up to me and the experiences I've had going through COVID and transferring with a different coach. I think people respect that and want to know what I have to say and the experiences I've gone through.
Yeah, and going through all of that, I mean, it's obviously been probably tough and kind of like a roller coaster at times, but is the biggest thing patience through all that, especially what your coaches preached? It's like putting a puzzle together? Yeah,
for sure. I think just waiting it out and waiting for the good things to come out of it, and it definitely has throughout these 4 years, or 3 years, and this upcoming year it's going to be a good one too.
Well, Hannah, we hope the hard work pays off for you and your fellow Tigers this season. Thank you so much for joining us on Hockey Media Day, and best of luck this weekend at UConn.
Thank you.
Hannah Solinger with us here, Coach. Obviously, it is game week. I just touched on that. You are headed to Storrs, Connecticut tomorrow. Let's take a look at what lies ahead for the RIT women's hockey team as they begin their season on Friday and Saturday at UConn. Then you'll visit 13th ranked Vermont, a lot of New England trips, a lot of travel. You're going to get to know this team. They're going to get to know each other very well on all these road trips before coming home for a Division I newcomer. St. Michael's comes to the Policini Center October 7th and 8th. After that, road series against 6th ranked Colgate. We saw them last year. A weekend at RPI before closing out the month of October with a home-and-home series with Syracuse, the defending CHA champions. And just a note for all fans, all RIT women's home games and CHA contests will be broadcast on Flow Hockey this season. The men's games as well on Flow Hockey this season. Coach, a daunting schedule, 11 home games only, but you've never shied away against the competition, the better competition. You've got some ranked teams in there once again. That only helps you get better, doesn't it?
Totally. So, I mean, if you want to progress and you want to be the best, you got to play the best, right? And so that's what we did last year too. And those games are hard. They're really hard. But what it teaches you is so much. Not only the game of hockey, but like grit and the ability to fight and be like, hey, I'm here. And that's what I want our players to be able to do. We're excited to go back and face some of these teams that we faced last year and see how we've grown and see where we line up. But we're excited to face some new competition in there. And yeah, we're on the road a lot. But like you said, it's a great opportunity for our players to get to know each other. And, you know, they're diligent about what they're doing, so I'm not worried. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great season, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, the road can be a place where chemistry and things can form when you're spending so much time together, traveling all over the country. Well, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years since the program captured the Division III National Championship at Ritter Arena. Well, on October 29th, the team coach was a big part of, honored. They will be honored during the Tigers matchup with Syracuse. Oh, a great moment here. Celeste living it, rushing that ice, that feeling of winning a championship. Make sure you get your tickets now. October 29th, when Syracuse is in town, the 2012 Women's National Champions will be here. Does it seem like yesterday for you? And what will it be like to have that team back here to be honored 10 years later?
Yeah, it's wild. I can't believe it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's going to be unbelievable. I think it's going to be great energy, and it's also play Syracuse, which is kind of like a friendly rival right down the road. You know, we're working to get back to those levels and those championships. That's what we want to bring into this building again. And so I think it'll be a special opportunity for our players, too, to just sort of be around that or see that energy through the rink, whether it's up on the board or them honoring and be like, oh, okay. Because that championship mentality has lived here before, and it should be back here. So great opportunity for everyone. And, of course, I have some buddies in there, so it'll be a lot of fun to be around. And, and for the fans, too, they're already excited. I'm getting emails and texts. What's going on? How can I get back? Et cetera, et cetera.
It was an electric time to win the championship, and then just a few days later, the program announced they were moving from Division III to Division I. Obviously, to get to that point, to get to a national championship now at this level, you got to get through the conference first. The conference format also changing this season for the CHA. The Tigers now have been picked to finish 5th in the 5-team CHA preseason poll, but we know how the coaches feel about preseason polls. The goal is to be in the top 4. You qualify for the CHA playoffs if you're in the top 4. The CHA instituting a different format this year, with the semifinals being a best of 3, February 24th through the 26th. The championship will be held March 3rd or 4th. The top remaining seed will host that championship game. Your thoughts on the new format? Do you like it, and the chances of your team getting in and making some noise?
Yeah, no, so, I mean, just wait and see. That's all I have to say. The championship format has shifted this year just because we're waiting for Robert Morris, league partner, to come back. But, hey, what a great and exciting opportunity. Every game matters now, right? Where in the past, although it does matter, there's parts like, oh, we're gonna make it. Now it's like, you don't do it, you're not going to make it. So I think it's great. Like, pressure is a privilege sometimes in those moments, knowing like, hey, my shift matters every time I step on the ice. So we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to getting into our league and fighting and clawing, because that's what the CHA is. It's a dogfight every time you step on the ice. So it'll be exciting to see what the 4 teams are at the end.
Well, best of luck to you and the Tigers this season, and obviously safe travels out to Storrs, Connecticut this weekend as you head out there tomorrow again to face UConn this coming weekend. And we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks against St. Michael's. Yeah, we're excited to be back, and thanks for having us. And we hope to see our Tiger fans in the stands, and we'll be here ready to rock when October hits. Yeah, absolutely. Get your tickets now for both the men's and women's teams, RITtickets.com. Well, still to come here this afternoon, Athletic Director Jackie Nicholson shares her expectations for the hockey programs and discusses the transformation and improvements being made to athletic facilities across campus. That is next. You're watching RIT Hockey Media Day.
This is RIT. Imagine your possibilities.
We all have something, a passion to pursue, a theory to prove, a difference to make. We harness creativity to discover meaningful solutions, fueled by innovation, changing ourselves and the world around us. We reside at the intersection of the exceptional and the unconventional. We are a community of curious minds that achieve, make, improve, perfect. At RIT, we're always on to something amazing.
Welcome back to RIT Media Day live from the Gene Policini Center here at RIT. The men's and women's hockey home openers both set for October 7th, just 16 short days away. The men's team about to take the ice for a practice here later this afternoon. Well, Jackie Nicholson took over as the 5th athletic director in RIT history in July of 2021. And since her arrival, the athletic program has continued to thrive. Championships have been won. The hockey programs can finally grant scholarships, and some aging facilities are in the process of getting major upgrades. Our Gene Battaglia sat down with Nicholson to discuss the department's accomplishments and what to expect moving forward.
Year one in Rochester. How's this going for you?
It's been a great year. It was a very fast year, just very interesting and fun to learn about Rochester, learn about RIT, how it's ingrained in the university, and learn how Rochester is ingrained in the community, and just more how athletics is ingrained into the institution. It was just a great time to meet our staff on campus, our student athletes, our head coaches, alumni, and supporters of the program. So just a great time just doing that. Adjusting to the Rochester wind and weather has been a challenge. That was probably my greatest challenge of the whole time, was not even dealing with athletics, but dealing with the weather of Rochester.
Let's talk about these hockey programs and start with the news from last year that now, for the first time, scholarships are going to be made available to these student athletes. Is that what you would call a game changer?
Absolutely, it's what you would call a game changer. Now we have the ability to attract student athletes to this institution who might not have considered RIT because of the expense of the institution. I tell everyone, RIT, to come here, you have to be financially sound as a family, and you have to be academically sound. So now we have the ability to attract families who might have struggled financially, and those student athletes now have an opportunity to come to a great academic institution and compete here at a high level.
So as we're getting ready for opening day here, opening night for both Celeste's team and Wayne's team, what should be an expectation for Tiger fans this year?
I think some excitement. I think the women's program last year ended on a very high note. Traveling with them to that CHA tournament was great, and I traveled with them those last 2 weeks of the season just to see the excitement. And once the girls got that win and victory and to have it under their belt, they were competing at a high level, and they were truly building and establishing that team culture. So I hope that really carries on over to this season for that excitement with our women's program as well. And then the men's program that reached the semifinals of the AHA, really hoping that they can continue of where they ended last year. It was a very tough loss in that semifinals, but hoping that they can continue that. And they have a lot of the continued leadership from the last year, and a couple of the players who are coming back for fifth years. So we're hoping that excitement continues on.
Yeah, the job, the work that's being done here at RIT Athletics, as far as some of your facilities here, it's not just this nice new hockey arena. Tell us about some of the things we can see here with baseball, softball, soccer teams, and the track team.
Over $20 million in enhancements for athletics just in terms of facilities. So we just kicked off, and we had a ribbon cutting for the Doug May Field, which is now home of men's, women's soccer and men's, women's lacrosse, with lights, new turf. It's just a truly state-of-the-art facility with plans of starting a stadium project in the near future to include locker rooms for those programs. And then in addition, if you look just outside of lacrosse and soccer, you'll see baseball. And you'll see the facade going in for new bleachers. We were lucky to get the turf in for that team to compete. Rob Groh is very excited about having that turf and having as many games at home as possible. So we're really hoping that with that facility, student athletes who come in here, potential student athletes, really see that we are stepping up our facilities, and they'll have bleachers. It has a brick facade, and we're waiting on a new press box that's scheduled to arrive. And we really duplicated those same things over at softball as well, with the new bleachers, the new press box, the new turf field.
Big event coming up here to celebrate the women's program.
Yes. So on October 29th, the women's ice hockey team will bring back their national championship team to celebrate 10 years of their anniversary. We're really at 11 years, but we missed it last year due to COVID, but hoping to get those young women back on campus to celebrate their accomplishments. They are only national champions for the women's ice hockey program, so really excited to have them back on campus. That'll be one of our first events to kick off some of the celebrations we're doing around some of our anniversary programs and some of our top programs for our women's team. The weekend before, women's soccer will be celebrating their 40th anniversary of that program in conjunction with Title IX.
You look at this arena right now, it's empty. But what is it like when the Tigers, it's a full house, a goal is scored? What is the Tiger experience?
I think I'll describe it with my first game last year, which was a women's game, and we were trying to break a record with attendance at a women's game, and I would tell people it's electrifying with corner crew banging on the window, the pep band going, the students being here and excited and engaged. I tell people, and it's just a great environment to be in and see people out here to support both of these programs, whether it's a nighttime game or a daytime game. Our fans come out here to support these young men and women and to ensure that, we create that environment that's competitive and people might not like coming to compete. Our corner crew, I think, helps to do a good job with creating that environment some of our opponents might not like. So I'm hoping that we can continue that and grow that, not only with our men's program, but our women's program as well.
A lot of great things happening around RIT Athletics. Jackie Nicholson, a great first year here at RIT, and certainly more to come as we move forward. Hey, don't forget to get your seats for RIT men's and women's hockey by visiting the Policini Center box office or online at rittickets.com. Reserve your season tickets for both clubs right now, or individual game tickets also on sale. Again, at the box office, call 475-4121 or rittickets.com. And also, you can find the full men's and women's hockey schedules right now, plus features, highlights, interviews, live streams, and much more on rittathletics.com or the RIT Athletics app. Make sure you download it today. Well, that's going to do it for RIT Hockey Media Day. My thanks to Jackie Nicholson, Celeste Brown, and Wayne Wilson, and thank you so much for watching here today. We look forward to another exciting season of college hockey here at RIT.